I want to feel connected. I want to feel connected 75% of the time, and I would say everything's great. I don't want to feel connected just 25% of the time.
All right, so what is connected?
Connected is synergy, it's alignment.
The reason we ask is because truly you cannot disconnect. So begin by saying, I'm always connected to some degree.
Isn't resistance disconnect?
It is, but it's too strong a word. In other words, you can't get disconnected.
Okay.
And so now we're talking about degrees of connection. So you want to say, I'm connected 100% of the time, and I would like to be fully connected a higher percentage of the time.
Yes.
So the reason that we ask you, what does connected mean? We want to go back to your question about affirmation. So let's say that you are, for whatever reason, feeling strong negative emotion about something that is important to you. And so you get out your book of affirmations that are supposed to make you feel like this. And all they do is make you madder. In other words, they're just irritating, because the affirmation that someone else wrote for you, usually, is about a vibration where you are not. So as you hammer the words and hammer the words and hammer the words from the vibration that doesn't mean what you're not feeling, what you're saying, all it does is aggravate your awareness that you're not there.
Yes.
Don't you just
I hate that.
When someone all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed says you create your own reality, you just have to say that can't be true or you'd be dead.
Everybody said we're going to have a good time, and I went.
So as you acknowledge that you can't jump up that emotional scale, and you don't need to, that you're going to incrementally. You said the words to us. You said, I want to slowly or gradually come into alignment. It was in your opening words to us. You're understanding that the quantum leap, even if you can achieve it, doesn't last. So in response to your idea about affirmations, Jerry and Esther have discovered something that is remarkable to both of them. And that is that music, which both of them love music, not all music, but much music. And what they have both discovered about themselves is that they can play the same piece of music, and sometimes it will send them into ecstatic orbit, and sometimes the same music is just annoying. Which means, and the music is not changing. The music is the same CD that they are playing. So the difference is the vibrational mix. And we want you to make whatever your mix is your friend. And we think that's the thing that's stuck in your craw. You are judging yourself as negative emotion being inappropriate.
Yes.
And instead, we want you to call negative emotion guidance, indication, to let you know the distance that you still have to travel. And when you go on a vacation, you do not say, oh, I'm already home and that's where I'm going to end up, so why bother with the vacation?
I've said that.
Then there is truly no hope for you.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
There are times when home feels like a better choice than a vacation. But when you choose to go on a vacation, you are going because you are expecting the adventure of it. You are expecting the stimulation of it. And your final destination is not what is inspiring you. It is the adventure. It is the journey. It is the opportunity for stimulation. And so we think we're getting to something here, because we think that what is happening with so many of you is that you have this idea of someplace not only that you want to be, but someplace you should be. And every moment that you're not there, you feel some sort of torture or some sort of inappropriateness about not being there. And that's why we want you to make peace with where you are, because where you are is where you are. We want you to feel what your inner being feels about where you are. Where you are is just fine. Here are the words we so much want you to hear. It's not that where you are is inappropriate to where you are going. We want you to realize that where you are is perfect, because it provides for you the opportunity to turn toward what you're wanting and begin enjoying the process of moving toward it. And friend, here's the thing. If you can get this, and we're going to stay here until you do, we believe you're on the brink of it. It is our hope and prayer that when you realize that that objective or that goal or that desire that you have defined only exists because it causes you to begin the motion. And it is the motion that is the deliciousness of life. In other words, we want you to understand, here it is, that the motion from powerlessness into anger is delicious travel. We want you to understand that the motion from rage into anger, into frustration, is delicious travel. And if you were only considering how you feel and your 2 points of vibrational relativity, you would be hearing that from us and getting that fully. But when you are trying to compare where you are with where someone else is, that's when it gets all out of whack. Your life is designed in this contrasting environment to make certain that there will always be the gap or the crack. Right. In other words, and until you say it's okay that it exists, in other words, for heaven's sakes, don't you think Esther should have this figured out? Don't you think she's the last person on the cruise that should stub her toe? And don't you think it's interesting that she has stubbed her toe and she's only modicumly embarrassed about it? In other words, where you are is where you are is where you are is where you are is where you are, and where you are is what gives you the opportunity to move towards something else. And so just take pleasure in the motion toward wherever it is you are going, and stop caring about where anybody else is.